you know, when you talk about togetherness, it's like, yeah, who's in the room, and who's actually being seen and felt and cared for. A lot of times people want to have diversity, but it's pretty much just checking off the boxes or bean counting on the pieces of paper so you can appease whatever gods are out there, like the grant gods or the police gods. And policing comes into a lot of languaging that I do because people police themselves and they police other people. So again, who belongs and who are we? For years, when I was traveling actively and not having a home base, people would ask me where I was from, and I would say, "Oh, I'm from the small watery planet, third one from the star called the Sun." And they go, "What?" It's like, "Yeah, the Earth. Have you heard of it?" And they were like, "Oh shit! Oh, what? You live there?" And it's like, "Yeah, that's where I live. That's my home. Where are you from?" And sometimes I wasn't that aggressive, and I was more coy and funny, but a lot of times it's like, God, you guys, it's like I often would go back to this woman Paloma that I knew in Chicago, who was an expressive human being, very alive and very powerful and really in your face. And she was exotic because, you know, she was obviously not from here. And so people would ask her, "Paloma, where are you from?" And she said, "I am from my mother's cunt." It's like, whoa. People didn't know, or eventually some people did learn that she was an Ecuadorian Roma. She was Roma, and her family had come from Europe and then settled in South America and then ended up in Uruguay. And then somehow, I can't remember the story, but somehow she and her family came to the States. And it's like, oh yeah, that balance of we are all from our mother's cunts in one way or another. But then we're also from this planet Earth. And it's that tension between those things. And like when we talk about, are we all here? Are we all here? Are we present? Do we got, you know, is that these rules that are applied, it's like, is everybody here enough to mean that we have quorum to allow the rules to be followed so we can make decisions? And then how do we as individuals hold all the people that aren't physically present in the moment? And a lot of work of the Puzzlement Laboratory is trying to tease and churn those waters to make it difficult to make assumptions about who is present and who isn't present, and what ideas and who's performing on behalf of somebody else, who's delegated, who is the advocate. Because a lot of times people want to advocate for other people, and actually they have no reason or right to do that. It's actually a form of, what's that word? There's a lot of words, but the idea of like taking somebody else's culture and keeping it as your own as a piece of power. It's a kind of form of colonialism, but also assimilationism, et cetera, et cetera. And it's really problematic. And so part of what I want to do, or we try to do with the Puzzlement Laboratory, is to throw that all into question. Like I'll do a workshop where it's very structured and we're supposed to get something accomplished. But the thing is, I created it and I don't know how to do it, but I'm supposedly the one that's doing it. And it's like, well, I'm going to do my best, and then I'm going to fail, and then somebody else is going to step in and try, and they're going to fail. And it's, again, this collectiveness of like, how do we all figure out that it takes a whole bunch of us with different experiences of learning how to express that and hold our failures and hold our insights to actually be is it success if we actually finish the project, or is it success when we actually learn how it all works together so that we can go and then have space and calm down or have that insight to get it? The specific example is when I was traveling, doing workshops across the country, and I wanted people to build a geodesic dome. And it's like, have I built a geodesic dome before? No, have never done it before. But it's like, oh, we're going to do this. And, you know, getting people to trust me and get the tools at hand. So whether it's, you know, somebody's house has bamboo there, and so we're going to use bamboo, or they have PVC pipe, or they have 2x4s and carpet squares that we're gonna put all together somehow. I don't know how to do this. I have ideas, I have images in my head. I don't know how to get there because I can't do this alone. I have to figure out ways of incorporating and getting other people's insights and expertises, and also see how people negotiate and navigate their inability to be a good leader and a good explainer. So a lot of that is to create these uncertain places where people can change roles and actually learn from each other and care for each other in a system that, in a process that means most likely we're not going to accomplish the specific task that is put before us, and be okay with that.